Hey y'all, it's TNT and I'm here with a long overdue video. I'm here to give you some college and scholarship application tips. Now before I start giving these tips, I want to let you know that this is my own personal advice. This is what has worked for me. This has what worked for others I know who are in the same position that I am in. Before I begin, I want to give you a little background knowledge. I go to the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, and I have the Gates Millennium Scholarship. So I applied these tips to my life. This was what has worked for me, and hopefully these tips will all work for you. So let's get started. So when you're first applying for a university or a scholarship, what are you thinking? When most people start an application or begin their application process, the common question is, why do you want to go to this university? Or why do you want this scholarship? Now, of course, that's a great way of thinking, but I kind of want to flip the script and allow you to think of it in this kind of way. Ask yourself things like this. How can you add value to this university? Or why does this university want you? What makes you authentic? What makes you stand out from the thousands and thousands of other applicants that this university or scholarship is getting? So first, we're going to start with your personal statement. A personal statement is what makes you you. A personal statement is what makes you you, what makes you unique and authentic. A lot of people get confused with a personal statement, and they kind of make it a sob story. They want the reader of their application to kind of feel bad for them and to hand them something. That's not what this is at all. A personal statement is your story. Now, if your story is sad, then so be it. That's you. But it's not so much of how sad your story is, but how you overcame obstacles, how you got to the place where you are now. It's what achievements you have and why these achievements are important to you. What do they mean to you? What have you been through? But not only what have you been through, what led you to the place you are here in your life? How you a conqueror? How have you overcame all of these things in your life that has made you you? Which has made you so unique? Think of a personal statement as a chance to explain how great you are, explain your life, what you've been through, and how it has transformed you into this amazing individual. You know what I mean? Something that can show how unique you are. Now, when I say the word unique is really important when applying for colleges and scholarships, it is the most important thing. Why are you different? Why should I want you to come to my university? Why should I want you to have my scholarship? Is what your readers are going to be thinking. So I want you to have that mindset. How am I going to stand out from the thousands of other applicants? So with that being said, you want to talk about some of your passion and interest. What are you truly passionate about? Now, I got this next metaphor from a speaker who came to my school named Julian Gordon, and he was explaining, if you're truly passionate about decorating fruit and making fruit baskets, then that's what you're truly passionate about. Don't hide that from your readers. Now, a lot of you may laugh and think this sounds funny, but then the next thing you know, that person who was passionate about that is the creator of Edible Arrangements, which is a multi-million-dollar organization. You get what I'm saying? So they want to know how you're different. What can make you you? So like I said, that metaphor came from Julian Gordon and one of his speakers. His speeches, definitely look him up. That just shows that that individual passion and interest gives you the ambition and the drive that will make you go so far to starting a company around your passion and interest that will be successful, because that's what you genuinely want. That's what you want to do with your life. You're not trying to be like somebody else. You're not trying to be the status quo. Now, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, that's amazing. But make sure that's what you genuinely want to do. Explain why this is your passion, how you came with this how you came to find this passion. Not because it's going to make me money or because it's what everybody else who is quote unquote successful, what they're doing. Not that, but because you genuinely want to do that. That's going to bring happiness into your life. And when you're explaining what's going to make you happy, it's like, okay, I think I can go somewhere with with this applicant, I see something in them. They have a genuine interest in whatever they're talking about. This doesn't seem cliche or too polished. This seems like something that they really want. Now, when filling out applications and writing your essays or writing your personal statement, I want you to think, what is yourself? Put all of yourself into this essay. Now, you may have a word limit or a word maximum, but make sure you're putting all of yourself into this statement. Think about this. Your reader or the person who's going through your application has never met you. They do not know who you are. They only have a certain amount of time to spend looking over your application. So you want them to know in those few moments who you truly are. Put all of yourself into this. Put all of the important details. And I really believe with a personal statement, a lot of great students mess up here. A lot of students who have 4.0s and who are valedictorians and who have all of these great accomplishments, they mess up here because they don't know how to explain why they are great. They don't understand why they got to the point that they've gotten to. So you really, before you sit down and fill out this application, you really want to sit back and think on your life, like, how have I gotten to this place where I am now? Why is this important to me? Is this something that I really want to do? Or have I been following somebody else's steps this whole time? And if you feel like you've been doing this because this is what you told that you need to do, you can explain that, but then come back and explain why that has affected you and what that means to you and how you can go on to take control of your own life, what ambitions you have, what's really the driving force that is forcing you to keep doing what you're doing, what's making you so successful. So you really want to look at that when you're filling out your application. Now, the next really important thing when you're filling out an application, or what people think is important, which is important, is leadership. Now, leadership is viewed in a lot of different ways. Now, a lot of people think leaders are the class president or somebody who everybody else is following. But I want you to think of the term leadership in a different way. Now, when you're in high school, this is definitely going to stand out. If you're involved in a lot of organizations, if you have if you're a class officer, the treasurer, secretary, no matter who you are, that's considered leadership. But then again, those spaces are limited. Not everybody who runs for class president is going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Leadership is something more than just a title. It's when you really have the power to influence others. When somebody sees you really doing your thing and they're like, dang, I kind of want to do my thing too. Like, you're inspiring me to be myself. You don't want to look at leadership as somebody inspiring to be you, but to be like you, in a sense of having that ambition and having that drive to get what they need to do done. When they see you happy in something you're really passionate about, and you're doing that and you're accomplishing it and you're doing it so well, when they're like, hey, well, I want to do this with my life, and if so-and-so is doing this with her or his life, I can do it with mine as well. That's leadership. Those titles that you can have, they're limited. So say you ran for class president and you didn't get it, and you still want to take on the role. You still have all these great ideas and passions and interests. Get involved in a club or organization that you are genuinely passionate about. And like I said, when you're genuine and when you're passionate about something, you're going to be happy when you're doing it, and it's going to show. You're going to put a lot more effort into doing what you're doing. So get part of a club and really just commit your time to that, your time and energy, and it will show. And you'll have a lot to speak for yourself. People will see that in you, that you're one of the club members that have stood out. And if you don't know what your genuine interest in, that's okay. You don't have to know that. When you're going through this application process and you're not sure what you want to put all your time and energy into, I was one of those people. I knew what I was passionate about, but I also knew there was more to me. So when I say I literally was a part of every club and organization, I overworked myself in high school, but I would say that it paid off because I did figure out later on what I really wanted to do. So don't be afraid to try everything, and you can talk about that, and it will show. It's like, okay, she was in a Spanish club, she was in National Honor Society, she was in the chess club. Like, you know what I mean? You can combine all all of these different interests you have until you figure out what's that 1, 2, or 3 things that you really want to do for the rest of your life, or something that makes you happy. So like I said, go ahead and try everything until you figure that out. And it's okay. When they see that, oh, she was involved in 10 different clubs and organizations, it may kind of throw them off. But if you explain in your personal statement why you tried everything, because you were looking for what really was for you. You get what I'm saying? And also with leadership, I want you to think outside of the box. So say you are passionate about something, but that doesn't exist at your school. Start your own club. Be an entrepreneur. Universities and scholarships are really looking for people who have this trait. If you can start your own club, that speaks volumes. Now, I'm not saying start your own club about something random just to do it, but start something that you're really passionate about, even if it's not a club, but just like a volunteer project, something that you've always wanted to do. And if you express that idea to a teacher or your principal that can help and support you along the way, it will work. It definitely will work. So don't be afraid to think outside of the box. Do what you need to do to get your accomplishments done, to allow you to be satisfied with your life, for you to feel great about yourself. And even with that, how you can make something better. If you see a club that's kind of falling apart and you really want to be a part of that and you want it to be great again, do what you have to do to make it better. And when I say volunteer, the word volunteer is so important. Giving back to your community is something that scholarships and universities are really looking for. You want to volunteer, put in work of community service, because it's showing that you're not only a part of that community that you're in, but the community that has given to you, you're going to give back to it, if it makes sense. So volunteering is really important. And overall, grades. Grades are really important. So you don't have to have the perfect score on every single test. You don't have to be perfect. Like I said, you do not have to be perfect. But when I say a lot of people, just grades is really what can throw an application off. So when I say grades are important, I mean to take school seriously. Why would a university or a scholarship want you if you've been failing all of your classes? Now, if you've been failing all of your classes, it's your responsibility to seek that extra tutoring, that extra help, to stay after school and really just try. Because like I said, if you're trying to go to a university or a school, they want you to be successful at their university. If you're failing classes in high school, more than likely you're going to be failing classes in college too. So it's okay if you failed 1 or 2 classes. Don't give up on yourself. Don't be like, oh, I'm already done, I'm out for the count. But really go and work harder and show your improvement. Universities do look at your improvement. So if freshman year, if you were falling off the bandwagon, don't give up now. But make sure from then on you're making straight A's. And if you're not making straight A's, at least know that you're trying your hardest, that you're putting in extra work, that you're doing in all of your homework, you're studying for your tests. So like I said, grades are important. They really are. They're not everything, but they are important because they're a big part of what your what people are looking at you as. When they look at your transcript and they can see your grades, they're not seeing why you failed this class or what your struggle was through that class. They just see that you failed it. So when they're looking at you getting that A, they're like, oh, this person worked hard for this. You know what I mean? So make sure you really are contributing to your success and you're focusing on school, and that goes hand to hand with your grades. With grades, I know a lot of people, it's this whole thing that, oh, I don't like school, I don't want to wake up so early. Well, if you don't like school, college is very similar. You're still going to be, taking classes. You're still going to have to work. You're not going to just go to college and go out and party and have fun. That's part of college, but that's not everything. You have to earn that. So when I say academics are number one, grades are important. You have to seek out those resources to make sure you succeed, because they are there. So I can probably make a part 2 to this because there's so much more I can say. I don't want this video to go on forever. But overall, what universities and scholarships are looking for are creative minds, somebody who's authentic, somebody who has ambition. You know what I mean? They want to know that if they give you this, you're going to take it a step further and you're really going to succeed with your life. They don't want to waste time. They don't want to waste their money, or they don't want to waste a spot in their university if they don't feel that you're genuinely going to try. So you really have to show that ambition and that drive and that passion that you do have to succeed in your life, and you will stand out. And I can give more advice. I can speak from my own personal experiences, but I just want to say what's for you is for you. And if you really want to do something with your life, make sure that's what you really want to do. I hope this was helpful. I know this was all over the place, but yeah, that's really what I had to say. I believe that's really what worked for me and what has got me to the point I am now and what I've seen work for others. So if you have any questions, please comment below. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and you can DM me and I can personally communicate one-on-one with you there. But like I said, I hope this helped. I try to fit as much information as I can. I'm sorry about my voice. I did lose my voice and I just got it back, so it's a little raspy. But yeah, it's been TNT Creations signing off. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all. And I know that you're all going to be successful. If you're watching this video, it shows that you do want to take that extra mile to make sure that you do succeed, and that's ambition. So do what you got to do. Let me know if this video helped or if it was any new information that you learned. And thank you again, thank you again, thank you again. TNT Creations signing off.